live.
All right, hi everyone. Welcome to the live. They always say I'm gonna wait so we can gather an audience. And once we gather an audience, I am very excited to introduce you all to the two amazing people that I have here joining me on my YouTube page. So for those of you who already know, my name is Bob the Drag Queen. I am one of the hosts of We're Here on HBO alongside Eureka and Shangela. By the way, if you're in the LA area, drive down Sunset, drive west on Sunset toward Beverly Hills, and once you get to 9,000 Sunset, there's a massive, I think it is legit one of the biggest billboards in LA.
I was like,
it is 15 stories. It is me, Shangela, and Eureka just out in these streets.
Out of the street.
It really feels it feels crazy. It feels really crazy for me to be able to look up and see myself up on this amazing billboard. But I'm joined by my drag daughter from Selma, Alabama, Miss Akilah Blue.
Hello.
And Akilah's partner, D.
Hey.
And they, we met in Selma, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But you're from, where are you from again?
I'm from Selma, Alabama. Born in Detroit, but most of my life, Selma, Alabama. So, I was born in Detroit, but I was, fed in Selma, Alabama, I guess you can say.
Yeah. And how about you?
I was born and raised in Miami. I started leaving like my late 20s, middle 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Like 25, 26, I left.
And by the way, if you all have any questions for Akilah and D, you can put them here in the chat, and I will be reading them out. I can't read them all in time, so I have to go back and read them or whatever. But I'm just really excited to talk about this episode. So if you didn't check it out last night, so this is the episode 4, season 2. We're Here. Takes place in Selma, Alabama. I was lucky enough to work with Akilah. Shangela worked with a lovely person named Joseph, and Eureka worked with Al Curious and Granny G. Yes, the G stands for gangster, she said.
Yeah.
Work with Al Curious and Granny G. And I am. This is not hyperbole. It is legitimately probably one of the most. No, it is the most. This last night's episode of We're Here is legit the single most important bit of television I've ever done. And how's your response been? Just having all these people like.
It's been so beautiful. Like, the support is it's unreal. Like, everyone is just writing and saying how much they are inspired and how much I inspire them, how much we as a couple being out publicly inspires so many people. I can't even keep count. They just keep coming every second, every minute. I go to sleep, wake up. It's just so. Thank y'all so much. It's so beautiful. Thank y'all. We really appreciate it. Just thank you.
And some people in the chat are saying that they want to see Akilah's GoFundMe posted.
Oh wow!
And you can find that link in Akilah's Instagram, and also you can post it here in the comment, and then we'll post it here in the comments so you can support Akilah.
Thank y'all.
In her physical transition. And so a big part of telling Akilah's story was that Akilah is a trans woman, a woman of trans experience from Selma, Alabama, and truly like a community builder. And you started by teaching dance, because this thing. So I feel like every hood has one of these. It's like there's like a person who like gathers kids and like teaches them how to dance. And
try to save the people.
Yeah, and you just, because I know we had them in Clayton County, we had them in Columbus, Georgia. I see them a lot in Harlem. You go through Harlem, there's just like a few people, almost always queer people. Almost always, every single time, is a queer person who just gathers a bunch of kids and then just teaches them how to dance. And you end up becoming like a dance troupe. And like, also sign off in the comments if any of you have ever seen this, like, this hood phenomenon.
It goes on I think it goes on probably in every hood, because when you see it, you can't just stand by and watch it just keep happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I have to do something. I have to figure out how to do something to give people hope, because if they don't have hope, then this is the reason why things spiral out of control.
Yeah.
You have girls that's 13, 14 years old being pregnant, and then they think that this is what they want because they don't have anything else to believe in. And that's literally how it has been, especially for our people. We are affected so much with that. Just teenage pregnancies, kids having kids and thinking that they're able to take care of these kids, and that's just not the case.
How is it for you with these kids who are now adults?
Right.
Jacob, can you just grab my charger out of my backpack for this thing, baby?
Yeah.
Or you can bring the whole backpack and I'll plug it in. A lot of these kids who were able to witness your entire transition, how was that for them as this is exposure. This is what's happening is now is because you mean so much to these girls who were there for you while you were dancing and seeing your transition. Now a person who says Black Trans Lives Matter exists in their house because you've essentially made them into allies just by being such a huge positive example for them.
I mean, they absolutely love it. They keep telling me all the time, this makes now the puzzle is complete, Akila. Like for the longest we always used to wonder, why were you just always pushing us and really trying to install it in them. It's just like, because y'all just didn't know y'all are lucky. Y'all was born in y'all right shell. Y'all was born in y'all right bodies, and you have to, accept and embrace who you are and love who you are. Because if I could, then I would at the time. And then I had to learn, I have to brace myself.
Yeah.
I have to love myself. Teaching them also taught me to be free.
Now, how did y'all two meet?
Off Grindr.
Yeah, you said on the show. We was on Grindr. We was on Grindr.
We were on Grindr.
That's how me and Jacob met.
Really?
Yeah, I'm on
Grindr.
It's on the bed, baby.
It's the number one matchmaker for us.
Well, yeah, that's how me and Jacob we met on Grindr. So that's real tea.
It's just, we met on Grindr. We started off as friends, just talking.
Me and Jacob did not. We were not just talking.
Oh no, we were talking. We were talking.
So respectable.
Oh, I was you see, I was like, okay, because anybody that's what they do first. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm a being. We're gonna smooth this thing on up in there, and it was, I don't know, it just went from friends to almost best friends to, I think I love you too.
Right.
And yeah.
So we were talking about a big part of the episode, which I feel like it really doesn't have a lot of screen time on scripted television or any kind of TV, is the DL scene, and how detrimental the DL scene can be. And for those of you who don't know, DL stands for down low. And down low is typically a term used, so I'm just going to plug my laptop in here. Down low is a term typically used to describe usually men who hook up with either gay men or trans women or non-binary queer people, but they don't want anyone to know that they're doing it, so they keep it a secret, and they really, and it can get really dangerous, because sometimes when they don't want someone to find out, it's more than just, you better not tell anyone. Yeah. It's like, you better not utter a single sound.
I mean, and it gets worse than that. Like, oh, you better not. And then as they sit there and think, and they're like, nah, I'm not finna leave my fate up to them. I'm just gonna wipe them out. So that way, I know ain't nobody gonna tell, because I'm not gonna tell them myself. Yeah. And it's just, it haunts them in a sense, because they're not being real with themselves. So it's just, it becomes a haunting after a while. And before they know it, they're doing something they probably wouldn't have never done if they would just face the fact and just face it head on. You have to face it head on. If you know that this is what you like, accept it, and just don't try to hide it. That's the worst thing you can ever do.
So Joseph, one of your best friends from Selma, who was Shangela's drag daughter in the episode, was there was an attempted murder. Yeah. Just so you know, this is full of spoilers of We're Here, season 2, episode 4. But also, it's not like the show is. We have spoilers, but it's not like the show doesn't have like plot twists. It's not like M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah. It's not a drag race. It's not like who wins the episode. It's real. It's just it is just real life accounts of what happened. But one of our drag kids this week was someone tried to kill him because he was on drugs, and he was ashamed of. You were there. Joseph told us. He said,
you talking about that situation? Joseph, okay.
Yeah, he was on drugs, and he was upset, and he was afraid that he was gonna tell. He had to live a secret relationship for 12 years. He said.
I was there when they met.
That's wild.
13 years. I was there when they met. Yeah. We was together. Like, it was.
How did you do now? Was there ever a moment where you used to be a part of the DLC? Yeah. And were you technically part of DLC when you met Akila, or did it, like, when did that change?
It actually changed for me like 2018, I want to say. Mm-hmm. I I just knew I came to a point that I just knew I never was not gonna. I'm not gonna stop dealing with trans women. So it was just like, what you want to do about it?
Yeah.
And that's how I felt. And from that day on, like I was just like, if I want to get in a relationship with a trans woman, I can. Like I wasn't gonna let nobody make me feel like I couldn't.
Do you feel like there's a difference in, or just a shift in your experience, and your personality, and your, like, since you were, there's something you said. What did you say? You love me in the dark and the light. What did you say?
Yeah, he loves me in the dark or in the daylight, because with trans we only know love in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets dark.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No one is gonna grab your hand and just walk with you outside in plum daylight, 2 o'clock in the afternoon while everyone is out, kids are getting out. No one's gonna do that, but he did.
And how did it feel for you when it changed? And did you notice a shift in yourself when you decided to love in the daylight?
A major shift. The reason why, because I was no longer like caring what people said. Like that was a weight lift off of me too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like I'm always worried about somebody saying something. I'm always worried about somebody doing something and all that. Like I just came to a point of like, if I do it like this, then I think that people will see that. I believe that I'm more realer with myself than a lot of people that claim they're real. You know,
Exactly.
So that's how I felt about it, and from that day on, like I said, I just kept to that mentality. Like, and it's way before I met Akila. This is like 2 years before I met Akila.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I'm just change up because I know for a fact like I'm not being myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just knew I was pretending too sometimes. Like of course I like women, I love women, but it's like it's something special about trans women too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like I can't deny the fact that I done been around some and actually heard their stories, and like.
How's your experience been with being around like all the queer people in Akila's life, the trans women, the gay guys, the non-binary people? Like, what is your acceptance? How have you been accepted by the people, or are any of them still like, once you one of them DL blah blah blahs who was?
I ain't gonna lie, that'll be so funny. That really would, but yeah, I don't know, because I've been around a lot in my day. Like I can really say like my first experience, I was young, but it didn't prosper then. Like it didn't sink in my mind then the way it's doing now. So it's like actually being down low at like 19 and sneaking around and stuff like that. It was just like, I don't know, they didn't feel right then, but
well, because you're sneaking. I mean, anything you sneak to do don't feel good. If you're sneaking to do it, either you think it's bad or you don't want anyone to know that you're doing it. There's some,
and you're ashamed of it.
Yeah, there's shame.
You don't want to know.
That's the number one thing my mom would say. You're doing something that you're ashamed of, and don't do it. So I'm not ashamed of this, you know what I'm saying? Because this is me. This is something that I can't control myself. Like, if I see someone that they consider a trans woman or whatever, and she looks beautiful, I don't mind looking. Like, that's, I don't know, like some dudes you know, some dudes make people feel like, oh, you looking at a trans woman, you should slap your eyes out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they, you know, like, it's just the way that people portray the whole situation. It's like, if you looking, it's because you're attracted to that. You know?
I think it says more about the people who are commenting negatively than it does about the person. It says much more about the people who are like judging someone for being attracted to trans women. Right. It says more about the person who's judging than it does about the person who's attracted to trans women. Mm-hmm. And it also it's a pretty limited mindset to insinuate, or to even insinuate the idea that like you could just not be attracted to any trans women, because all trans women, like cis women, like non-binary people, like guys, like trans men, like cis men, look a myriad of different ways. Exactly. There are some everyone thinks they can tell a trans person because they look by looking at them, and that is not how that always works. Right. So trans people look lots of different ways. You know what I mean? Trans people are not monolithic in their looks or in their anything.
Agreed.
Trans people have shared experiences, so there are certain things that always end up seeming similar through their personalities or the way they behave. Just like with black people, just like with queer people, just like with construction workers. If you have a shared experience, you're going to start behaving in similar ways on certain things, but it's not completely monolithic. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I just want to talk a little bit about what y'all do, because I know that you're both musicians.
Yes.
And I know right now they are living in New Orleans.
To India Moore.
So let's talk about that. It's like there's so much love.
India. Thank you, India.
Tag India more.
And Tarana Burkittswell. Thank you. Y'all have been amazing.
And of course Q and the Nights and Orchids.
TKO and House of Tulip, who provided the house for us in New Orleans. TKO, of course. TKO #1. Okay, got me on my hormones, did everything. So yes, these people are people.
And by the way, of course, man. And we have here in the chat, we have Akila's GoFundMe. If you all want to help with Akila's medical transition, this is one of the ways that you can. You always said you want to find out how to support Black trans people. Mary, this is literally one of the ways.
Here we are.
And also, you all are working on. I want to hear about your music stuff that you're working on as well, because I know it's not quite ready yet,
but we're working.
Still, right? Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, so first of all, I originally go by Akila Blue, and my babe, he goes by King Blue, and that.
That's so cute.
And that makes. Blue times 2. So that is our name, Blue times 2.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that. I didn't even know that. What did y'all do that name?
We just been, in the lab.
Was that after Selma?
Yeah. No, it was before Selma.
Oh, I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah. We was, but yeah. So we are Blue times 2, and we want to make music for our community and other communities, because just to display love, like, we believe that love is the answer to everything. It's the answer to war. It's the answer to everything. If everyone just stops and just love
on each other.
So that's what our music is going to be promoting.
That's what brings the peace and love.
Yeah.
The peace.
So that's what we're headed for, just like love. And of course, we're going to twerk it down while we loving.
Now, how many of you all in the chat saw last night's episode? Again,
how many?
I cannot after this is done, if you have not seen it yet, I'm telling you all, it is legitimately the most important piece of television I've ever done in my life. I'm very, 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 very proud of it. Also, if you have any questions for me or Akila or D or Blue or Two Blue, what is it?
Blue times 2.
Blue times 2. I'm a little slow to learn sometimes.
Okay.
Everyone said they're watching cry. I know. By the way, trigger warning: you will cry. There's a lot of healing especially if you're a Black queer person. It will. Mary, Kathy said I'm still crying. I was crying my ass off, and it was beautiful. I cried twice, just twice. I cried.
Every time I watch it, I cry.
Everyone's always like, when I watch your show, I cry. I'm like, yeah, that was an hour episode. I was there for 12 days, crying the whole
12
time.
Days,
there's also a lot of stuff that we did. We didn't get a chance that didn't get aired because I just wanted to hang out privately with you. We went to Birmingham, and
that was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun. A whole day just.
Oh, here's actually a little behind the scenes that we've been telling. So me, Shannon, and Eureka, we actually come up with these numbers ourselves. There's not like a secret team. We come up with the numbers, and then we work with the designers and the choreographer Marvin Brown. And the designers are Diego, Patrick Howell for this episode, and Casey Caldwell in later episodes, and Diego Montoya, and Domino Couture. So my team was Domino Couture, and then of course Marvin Brown works with all the teams, and Gloria from Wigs and Grace does the hair. So me, Shanti, and Eureka come up with the numbers, and then we discuss with the team how we want it to look. And so initially, Akila was talking about how she was being dead named a lot from family and stuff. If you don't know what dead naming is when you call a specific term for trans people when you refer to them by their name they were given at birth. By the way, not all trans people change their names. Some trans people keep their names. It's not terribly common, but there are trans people who keep their birth names. Akila's not one of them. So initially we were going to do say my name Do you remember this?
Yes. Say my name.
Say my name. So is around you. So we were initially doing "Say My Name" by Destiny's Child, but then as we started talking more and more, I was like, no, the song needs to be "Fine" by Mary J. Blige. Mm-hmm. Something about like the lyrics, everything about the I ain't gonna let nothing get in my way.
It was perfect.
Like it really spoke to it, but. It was like a last minute change. We were trying to get the right switch over at the very last minute. So do you remember we rehearsed two full numbers?
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
For backup.
Yes, normally we rehearsed one number the whole time. We were rehearsing "Say My Name" and we were rehearsing "Fine" by Mary J. Blige same time.
And the tempo was different. So
completely, because it's like "Say my name, say my name, when no one is around you," and then it goes, "Feels so good. We let this thing called love get away from you." So we were like, our rehearsal was like twice as long. You don't because this is your only rehearsal. We're here. Okay. Twice as long as any rehearsal I've ever had to do for the show. But honestly, we would have been able to do both because we were prepared to do both. We were prepared to do both. Yes. But on the morning of the show, Mitch Farino, who is the drag producer for the show, producer of the drag show, he came in and was like, "Oh my God, Mary J. Blige cleared it!" Like. I mean,
that was literally wasn't it like the day of or the day?
It was the morning of the show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was the day of, and because I came here, I was like, "So did we get it cleared?" He was like, "We got it cleared."
Yeah. And also the other one too, like every time we get one of these songs cleared, the artists themselves are clearing it. So like Mary J. Blige, told me to watch this.
Mary,
tag Mary J. Blige.
I want to Mary. Hi. Hi, I hope I did your song justice. Oh my goodness.
Let me read some of these comments. Akila's boyfriend being so supportive and so proud. And there's like a crying emoji.
I love you, babe.
I love you too.
And everyone else was talking about I do want to give myself a shout out for my iconic solo performance in this episode where I had my knees on my shoulders.
Yeah, I love that.
So I did this crazy number where I've always wanted to do this number where I come out and I have like the biggest wig you've ever seen in your life. I've always wanted to do this. And then I want the wig to jump off my shoulders and then start dancing with me. So I got my niece, who is, by the way, a really great and talented dancer. She's a gymnast. She's a cheerleader. She's actually retired from cheerleading.
What?
Yeah, she's like, I don't like dancing and cheerleading anymore. So she came out of retirement just for me, just for her uncle, Bob the drag queen. And she was performed with us. And big shout out to Shira and Justin. Tashira and Justin, my niece's parents.
Yeah, Justin.
Justin, my brother. Tashira is... as Nevaeh's mom. Mm-hmm. So a big shout out to Nevaeh, who I'm assuming Nevaeh is not because Nevaeh is 11, so she's on TikTok, not on YouTube.
She was all over me like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, you are so good. You were so good too.
It was excellent. So how did you and Granny G and Alcurious and Joseph, y'all like talk after the show and hang out with all the...
So I haven't heard from iCurious yet or Granny G. I'm sure I will. I know I'm sure we will, but Joseph, we hang all the time. Every time we slide into Selma, which we haven't been there because, things really, after recording, things kind of got rough. They killed a policeman, black one. And, it just got to a point to after the cameras and everything left, we wasn't, first of all, we was homeless. We are homeless. We staying at a house, thanks to India. Thank you, India, who has got us a temporary house. But at that time, we was homeless, so we're staying with Nakia. Okay? And
one of the dancers.
Yeah, out in the neighborhood, we were sitting on the steps. So that's like the projects, basically. So after the cameras left, they started focusing in on what was y'all doing, and so it just got to the point we just had to get out of there. So we just left and we went to Nashville for a minute, and now India found us and put us in New Orleans.
And that is India Moore from Pose.
Angel. Oh my God,
Angel from Pose,
a true angel.
Living up to the name.
Angel, Tarana, angel. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
And so now they're in New Orleans and working on their music and stuff.
Yes.
And I want to start scanning through. By the way, if you all have any questions that you asked, you might want to re-ask them again.
Bring them up.
Because we have a lot of comments up in here because there's a little over 500 people watching right now. So we have to go back and find all these comments. So they get lost in the sauce. So if you have a question for me, a question for D, a question for Akila Blue, you can feel free to ask them. And everyone says that India Moore is the GOAT, greatest of all time. Yes.
So serious.
Bob, what is the biggest? This is from Mel Mars. Bob, what's the biggest thing you took away from being in Selma? So, okay, so a big shout out to Afriye, who runs the Culture Center over on the main street in Selma, and all the amazing the foot soldiers, Joanne, Miss Lowry, Miss Linda Lowry, for like that moment that I had with them talking about Black healing and Black trauma and like basically the experience of being a Black person in America.
Yeah.
And how it is in and of itself a traumatic experience, especially with the survivor's remorse that I was having in the moment of knowing what everyone had to go through for me to be able to have my own TV show and have myself on the side of a billboard. There's a lot of sacrifice that had to come for that. And it was just really all washing over me. So being affirmed by those amazing women is just one of just a great thing that I took away. Also, this great friendship that I have with these two wonderful people. We talk all the time. We're always texting and talking.
Always talking.
And everyone always asks, do you still talk to your drag kids? And I mean, not every single one of my drag queens. Some I mean, it's 2 seasons now.
Yeah,
so there's I mean, I think we did. There's over 15 kids at this point. And sometimes
hey, brothers and sisters. Hey, y'all.
And sometimes I do 2 or 3 at a time. So yeah, I've had a lot of kids. A lot of kids over the years. But I do still talk to a lot of them, and I think that you're definitely one of the ones that I for sure talk to the most. And big shout out to my baby from Del Rio, Texas, SIL. Miss CC No.
Oh my God, I love it. That was a good one.
Yeah, so that is a question I get a lot. Do I ever it was a hey to my good sis Blue, Nakia Bundles. Do you know Nakia Bundles?
Yes, that's Nakia the dancer.
Oh, Nakia! Hey, Nakia! Hey to my good sis Nakia.
Love you, sis.
They want to know, when are we getting music? I mean, it's a question for all of us.
It's coming. We're working really hard. We're trying to figure out some things. Maybe in like 2 months, or not, it's coming.
The answer is you'll get it when you get it.
We're working. We're working.
I have not done any music since 2017. It has been 3 years since I've done a song, and it's about to be 2022. I am trying to make some more music. You know, I really focus. Mary, we're gonna collab.
Yes, God.
I was really focusing on my comedy and my television career, but I am definitely gonna get out there.
That's great, though.
Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah. Oh my God, it is so funny.
Thank you.
Yeah. It is so funny.
Well, you can watch Suspiciously Large Woman on Amazon Prime, or you can watch Bob the Drag Queen Live at Caroline's, also on Amazon.
If you don't want to cry, but you want to laugh, right now.
So here's a question for you two. Did Bob argue with anyone behind the scenes?
No. Bob is so sweet. No, none of them. There's no argue. I'm telling you. Listen, I know it may seem
Angel.
Literally, like everyone is extreme. Like Shangela, Eureka, Bob. Y'all laugh and play so much with each other behind scenes, and with us, it was so much fun. Like it was just fun all the way around.
They're asking for your for Instagram handle.
Huh?
Your Instagram handle, your Instagram name.
My Instagram name is Akila Hill, but I'm gonna make sure for you guys. So Akila Blue, AKEELAHBLU, ran all together.
There we go. And what's yours?
I don't even know what I'm did.
Oh Lord, you don't know your Instagram handle?
Come to my page,
Tag photos.
It's me and him together. So if y'all find me, you're gonna find him.
Well, what's your Facebook?
Lenny Merck.
There we go. I'm trying to find some more. There were some great questions there. I just want to make sure I'm getting them all, because we're going to wrap up very, very soon.
Okay.
Q, what's your motivation to keep moving forward? Like, I guess your motivation, especially because I do think it is pretty bold to come out of the DL scene and decide to, live out loud. So what keeps you inspired to keep doing that?
I don't even know. I'm really taking it one day at a time, because it's a real challenge for real. Mm-hmm. It's a real challenge because like we was talking about, people don't understand. Trying to get people to understand is like trying to get Turtle to move fast to
it's almost impossible.
Yeah, so it's like, and it's sad that it's really how this world has did it. Like, this world made it to where that looks bad, or what we.
For sure.
So it's like really hard trying to get out of that. So it's like, I don't know, but I can't say I don't be feeling weird when I'm around like people when they're staring and this, but it ain't gonna bother me to a point where it's gonna run me away from Akila. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm still gonna be there
because your love for Akila is stronger than
yeah.
My sis too, and that's the thing. Like people look at like trans women or trans men, and we get ridiculed, but they get ridiculed so much for just for loving us. Like. It's the same type of pressure they put on us.
Same pressure.
It's the same exact pressure they get put on them. Only difference is they're actually friends with these people.
Mm-hmm.
We know exactly how they feel.
Yeah, it's even worse. He's had to witness his friends turn on him. He's had to witness his close people turn on him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's had to feel that and try to understand that. It's hard. It's hard. Just like us. That's the reason why I'm saying like we was talking about together. We want to start a nonprofit organization, not just for trans people, but for trans attracted people too, mm-hmm. to be able to come together because you got kicked out and still be around people to actually feel normal instead of being put in a box to make you hide or go behind a brick wall or come over here or wait until nighttime. He can teach the trans attracted to love in the day.
Well, I think it's really fierce that you're doing this because I feel like right now the only real representation of black men loving a trans woman in the world is actually Dwayne Wade and his daughter Zaya Wade, and it's not even a romantic. It's like
it's not.
But also loving your daughter should not. You shouldn't get praise for that. That should be the standard.
Automatic.
You shouldn't get extra. You know what I mean? But there's no one actually. I feel like there's very few people out there in the world talking about amorous love, as opposed to just familial love.
Yeah.
Let's do a few more questions. Akila, what was your favorite part of doing the show, and what would you tell yourself before doing the show? What was your favorite part of doing We're Here?
My favorite part was meeting you and us being together all the time. That was my favorite part, to be honest. Telling the story is painful, so and having to say how I feel is painful. So I mean I had to say it, and I said it, and I faced it. But the best thing was being with you because come on, being in Selma with no one ever caring about you, looking at you crazy, to you have a whole high-end celebrity drag queen who is calling you their daughter and you are their mother, and this is for all of Selma to see. Mm-hmm. So it's just we thought that she was this, but actually she's worth this now.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, I don't think it's about now. I think it's that you've been worth the whole time, but now they're finally seeing it.
Yeah.
Someone else is actually finally getting a chance to experience that.
Yeah.
Let's do one more question. How did it feel to see your name in lights, and did you get to keep that part of the set?
I did.
How did it feel the first time you saw it? Because I remember picking an idea. I was I want to see your name.
In the
whole thing was that you're going to say my name. Boom! Then it lights up. By the way, that sound, we added that sound effect. It doesn't make that noise when you turn it on. it doesn't make any noise at all. It just kind of
thought it did, dog.
Yeah, but the sound of it was fierce though.
But no, it felt. I cannot describe that feeling. I think probably the same way Beyonce feels when she see a whole bunch of people screaming her name, or the same way you feel. It's I blanked out. It was a situation. Okay, the cartoon Soul.
Yeah.
When you get into your own thing, and then it was you go into this whole different thing. That literally explain it for everyone. That's how that was.
That's how that feels.
That's exactly how that was. It's I faded off into my element. I was out of body. It was the best feeling in the world, and I want to do it again and again and again and again.
That's what performing makes you get caught with.
You get addicted. I am addicted. I want to do it again. Y'all, please. Y'all want to see me again? Y'all want to see us again? Because we need to do this again. Let's do this again.
It was really great. We went to Steve and Johnny's house, who are the creators of We're Here.
So beautiful.
And I forgot that, not forgot, but I just kind of didn't think about that much. But in the episode, in between scenes, there's a title card. Sometimes it's stuff that we say, but in the beginning, it's just the name of our drag kids. And I remember we were sitting there. I got chills last night. We were just sitting there, and the first name on the screen just goes Akila.
I was talking about heart drop to my foot and out of it.
And everyone in the room were all screaming. We're all ah!
And that made it even worse. That made it even worse. I was oh my God, where am I at? Where am I at?
it's really beautiful because you sit there and it's just this big flash against and it just says Aquila and like everyone can see it and it's just like it is really
out of body experience, unreal. I swear, if you ever experience it, you will understand what I'm saying. You have to experience it to see your name in lights when you have worked your whole entire life, blood, sweat, and tears, plays, dance rehearsals, constantly writing with people telling you, oh, ain't no gay person or ain't no trans person gonna make it in the music, so you might as well let that shit go. Like, these are the things that I have had to face. I've tried to do music so many times and I just quit because every time I will try to just honestly go to a producer and say, hey, can you help me? Yeah, I mean, you sound good, but
they're afraid.
I'm not doing that. I'm not finna put my name on that. Sad to say, my cousin even went that way. Like you know what I'm saying? It's
That's why I'm so glad you get to meet Shea Diamond last night because Shea Diamond's someone who's insanely talented, and you know, sometimes it takes someone like Justin Tranter, who is a huge music producer, working with like Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, all the big names, Jessie J, and then you know someone saw something in Shea Diamond, and then now she's like on all these soundtracks and stuff. There was a good question here.
Only Dream.
Yeah, we should wrap it up very, very soon.
Okay. I'm gonna leave. Guys.
Well, listen, y'all. If you want to help out, you can check. You can click on that GoFundMe, which is pinned in the comments. You can check these two both out on Instagram and on Facebook. And of course, I'm always posting great stuff here on my YouTube page. Thank you all for joining us. And we'll see you all very soon.
See you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Love you. Love you. Bye.
This is when we should all